will be the day when you finally have found yourself, and that's the day of inner union. And what follows inner union is outer union, as you can tell, right? Very warm welcome to this channel. My name is Judith, and we are like discussing everything that has to do with your twin flame journey. And today I want to share a little bit about the personal experience, and maybe you can relate, because I'm just talking about myself, and you see if you can relate, right? I've been pretty lost along my life, because I very early on, in fact, maybe even before birth, right? But very for sure after birth, I learned to prioritize other people. Yeah. So I have no awareness. I had no awareness how to give to myself, how to nurture myself. Basically, what was nurturing myself was the feeling that I could please others. Yeah, and if someone else was angry or not satisfied, then this would be a big threat to me. Yeah, I've experienced like walking on eggshells and all of those things, and all the relationships basically, or many relationships, they have in one way or another like mirrored this pattern. I've become a people pleaser to a certain extent, and I've always looked on the outside, right? And then I met my twin flame. And of course my journey began even before that, right? Because I could feel that this is not a healthy pattern. And so, yeah, we are trying all kinds of things, and all of those things are useful to some extent. They just build the little bricks along our journey. But there are some things that are like kind of a breakthrough, right? So when I met my twin flame, I was like accelerating my effort to heal. I knew that was like what this was all about. I knew that early on, but still I was then looking for healing methods. I was listening to different teachers, and this was still everything on the outside. So, and I tried to turn to myself. I tried to give to myself, and yeah, with various things, right? And so that's all good, right? That's all part of the experience, and everyone has their own journey along through those different methods, and it has to do a lot with spirituality. And there's of course also the danger of spiritually bypassing the real issues and all of those things. But in order to discern, we have to move through that. We have to have the experience. There is no other way, right? So yeah, and basically what I found was that with my twin flame, there was a sentence that I even didn't really fully understand where that came from, and I think my twin flame didn't understand where that came from as well. I said early on, I want to be who I truly am. And that was basically my soul, like declaring that. I want to be who I truly am. And that's my journey, right? That's what my twin flame journey is all about. And this could be true for you as well, right? So, and what is that like? So basically, when we have the time to, or I'm talking of myself, when I had the time to nurture myself, I had the time to give to myself, all of a sudden there was very often like kind of an emptiness. And I didn't really know what to do, or I was biding my time, and yeah, there was not much movement. And I'm very creative, I'm full of ideas, and I said, what's wrong with me? Yeah, I don't know how to nurture myself. That's what came to my mind, right? I don't know how to give to myself. I have no idea, because I've I've split from my true self so early on, and I know perfectly what to give to others, but I don't know what it is like, what it feels like to nurture myself. And that's what I had to learn, right? In order to, and the first step is really to acknowledge that there is this emptiness, and to acknowledge the feelings that come with this emptiness. When I had like done a chunk of healing, like a big chunk of healing and releasing of various issues, and going through different belief systems, and releasing them, reprogram my subconscious mind and everything, then all of a sudden I was able to feel those feelings. And the feeling that came to me was, or the thought that came to me was, that I've lost myself. I've lost myself. And basically this feeling of I've lost myself. There was no thought of I've lost my twin flame, or I want to be with my twin flame. My twin flame, all of a sudden the thought of being with my twin flame was gone, and it was about this relationship between me and me, right? And I felt like I've lost myself. And then I was thinking, that might be what my twin flame is thinking right now. Oh, I've lost her, right? So yeah, one way or the other, this is the moment then when you turn toward yourself, and when you acknowledge even that you don't know how to turn to yourself, and when you grieve the loss of all of this. And there's also, this is also the moment where along the journey when anger will show up, right? Anger, grief, those things. Before that, it could be like more things like feeling down, feeling anxious, right? Those feeling panic, feeling overwhelmed, other feelings, basically feeling abandoned, rejected, all of those things. But at this point of the journey, what comes out is really the anger and the grief of what we've lost ourselves. Yeah, so that was where I was, what I was going through, what I was experiencing. And in my case, I was really like, I was telling myself that's what abuse, the ugly face of abuse looks like, right? It's taken away this whole knowledge around nurturing myself, and having this fulfilled life, and this riches and abundance. Of course, nobody can take this away from you entirely, but there is this part, and that's really an important part. And there is such a thing of anger coming up in relation to this, and then grieving this. And we have to move through that, right? Because that's really the turning point. And then learning, and basically nurturing ourselves. And this, I've already done this along the healing journey, right? What am I feeling? And like one issue after the other, and releasing the energies. If you want to work with me, you find my office in the description box below. There's also a link to, I believe, a free, some freebie. I think it's a meditation around self-love, right? It's good to do this wherever you are on the journey, whether it's in the beginning or even when you are together with your twin flame. It's never wrong to like emphasize this self-love, right? Yeah, and that's what it's all about, what this video is all about as well, to give yourself, um, I want to put it that way, that for me it was very, very much around nurturing myself. Yeah, nurturing myself. And in fact, at this point, I was feeling very empty on the left side of my body. That's the female side, right? The side where we receive female energy is all about receiving, the male energy is all about giving, all about action, right? And but in this moment of being, feeling the being this separation between me and me, yeah. um, I I very much felt that I was clueless in relation to the thoughts, the feelings, and also the actions. Yeah, and I've developed, or I've been stuck in bad habits all along. So maybe you can relate, right? Don't know about your bad habits, and we have to be, or I try to be like very gentle around this, and not to be too demanding and changing everything all at once. But it's always like the question, what am I doing now? Am I nurturing myself? Am I loving myself? Am I giving to myself? And that's when a whole other part of the journey begins. And for some teachers, they start at that point, right? But if you have not been moving through all the other issues and come to that point where you have this awareness of giving to yourself, it can be hard to use certain techniques to your advantage. Yeah, if that's the key, maybe for you, that you have tried other techniques and you're like not getting anywhere. I have a bunch of tools, and I can also like find out very precisely what's a fit for you, so that you can move through certain issues swiftly and without further ado. Yeah, that you know where you have to look. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's I don't know. I've made some notes here. Um, yeah. Well, I think that was it pretty much for today. Let me know what you think. Let me know about your experiences, or let me just know if this resonated by liking and subscribing. And just stay tuned. I see you in the next video. Bye for now, everyone. Have a beautiful day.